Hello, everyone. It's so good to be here in front of like real people because over the past 2 months, I think I've had enough talks and AI explorations behind a computer screen, so it feels a little bit different. All right, so today's talk is about AI's impact on product design, and my name is Xinran. I'm the founder of Design with AI. Design with AI is a organization on a mission to help people design better, smarter, and faster with AI. All right. AI's impact on product design. I only have 25 minutes here. I think it's a 5-hour talk, to be honest. I hope today's conversation can be a conversation starter for you all to get to know the space better. That's it. All right. So let's go back to 2 years ago. If anyone recalled anything important happened that year. ChatGPT. I was about to say my daughter turned 4. No, just joking. Yeah. So actually, the first thing happened was actually Midjourney. So Midjourney was launched. Similar with many people that I saw amazing photos. So this was the first prize, probably not the first prize, one of the prize winner of the competition, and it was actually generated by AI. So it caused a lot of controversies at that point. For me, as a product designer, I was chilling at home. I didn't feel the impact on product design yet. I know it's like beautiful arts, image, but I'm sort of indifferent at that point. And one day, out of curiosity, I searched Midjourney UI in Google, and this is what I saw. Again, still relatively indifferent because I think, it looks really cool, but didn't really impact the things that I've been doing. And then ChatGPT was launched. So things got more interesting because ChatGPT has made AI more accessible than ever for everyone. So out of curiosity again, I typed a well-crafted prompt in ChatGPT, and this is what it generated. Again, I thought it would be interesting, but I don't think it's useful at all. It's like too cartoonish. I actually tested the same test again a few weeks ago after ChatGPT 4.0's upgrade, the new image generation upgrade. And this was the result because I was testing different design options. Apparently, within just 2 years, the space of AI has been moving really, really fast. So in other words, if I were to give another talk in 6 months, probably I have to throw away all the slides. So whether you enjoy AI, have doubts, or watching on the sideline, there's an inevitable wave of AI that is coming. And inevitably, it is also affecting product design. So for today, I'm going to talk about some key themes that I discovered. New workflows emerged. I was traveling in Mexico a few months ago for the Christmas holiday, and I turned off my phone. I have no access to my social media. And after I came back, people were talking about Laravel on the internet. And there is a very nice tagline, which is idea to app in seconds. And I feel like, wow, that's really something. However, I was not surprised because tools like V0 or Boat, they've launched before Laravel, which is sometime around last year. So in January, the Swedish startup launched, and for some reason, I don't know because of their mission, like the tagline, or just make it more accessible to everyone, it got a lot of traction. Idea to apps in seconds. It's a very strong mission. Conventionally, if we think about the idea to app process, it's sort of linear, from idea to low fidelity, high fidelity interactive prototype, developer handoff, and all the way to the app. But the vision is about from idea to app in seconds. That is like very strong and very, very interesting. However, same with other AI tools. Things are not perfect, right? This is a vision, but definitely it's not the current status. Like, you may generate an app in seconds, but you have to spend much longer time to refine it. However, that said, I do see some interesting workflows that have emerged. So speaking of design, build, test, learn, the cycle, it has been accelerated. So meaning faster and faster. Apparently, from design to build is getting faster. And there are also other tools like some user research tools with AI. They claim that they can essentially expedite the process from test to learn and from learn to design. All right. So there are some workflows I want to share today, which is hard to imagine 5 years ago. So the first workflow is from idea and to a prompt, and then you feed the prompt to an AI tool, and then it generates interactive prototype. The second one is idea to prompt, and you feed the prompt into AI tool, it generates some low fidelity designs, and then use them as a visual references to another AI tool to generate interactive prototype. Idea prompt AI tool interactive prototype, and then you realize that things are not going well, so you go back to the drawing board, refine the prompt, and then use the AI tools to generate interactive prototype. So I'm going to give two examples, one for the first one and one for the second one. So I've been hoping to drink more water on a more consistent basis. And one day I had a fun idea. What if there's a web app that can help me track and visualize my water intake? But I didn't have a lot of time, so it was a very quick experiment. So I wrote a prompt here. It looks a lot of text, but to be honest, with the assistance of AI, I think it took me about like 45 seconds. Okay, so this is the result. You can change the daily goal limit. You can choose, are you drinking by a cup or a glass or a bottle? And then you just click on, add water, add water. There's also a visualization, as you can tell from the top. Let's say I drink a whole bottle of water, and then there's like a celebration type of thing towards the end. It took me about 5 minutes, and it's hard to imagine if I were to build something like that to convey this idea about 2 or 3 years ago. So the second workflow, let's say that was another experiment that I did. I had an idea of like a very lightweight app. So essentially it was inspired by Substack, actually. So I wrote a simple prompt. I could have spent more time on the prompt, but it was not my focus at that time. I broke the idea into different pages. So each prompt was representing like every page. And then from that page, like that prompt was for homepage. So it generated a few design options. So I was using this one is UX Pilot at that time. So it generated 3 design options for me, and I can took one. I can tweak it in Figma if I need it. But for me, it's like really minimum editing after this. So I picked one out of the options, and I did the same for the remainder of the flow. So eventually, it landed with something like this, which is like a sort of like Substack or like a blogging platform that you can write a post, and then you can for sure like a post as well. It took me about less than 1 hour. I forgot how long it took, but as you can tell, all the photos were generated by AI, so I don't have to literally manually pull out any images, and there are some cool interactions as well. All right, the second key theme, Figma being challenged. It's interesting to say this because I thought Figma was, it's very hard to challenge Figma because everyone is using Figma. All right, I start with this thread or tweet. It's no longer called Twitter, so it's X. So Pietro, I think he used to be a designer at Meta, and a designer that I respected a lot. And so he wrote this the other day. There is no reason to use Figma anymore. Whoever tells you differently is either detached from reality or failing to grasp the design process. As you can imagine, it got a lot of comments and some angry comments as well. to the point that he actually posted a 1 hour long video just to explain, to defend his thought. So his thought is that Figma is essentially sort of like a vector-based design tool that is detached from the actual development process. And granted, there are different conversations about design and code needs to be more integrated. Design code and AI is more integrated, and Figma is aware of that. However, the dev mode is arguably still a reference for the developers as opposed to integrated part of the development process. The Figma AI is still in beta version. It's extremely slow. I've been waiting this for like over half a year, but I only know probably 10% of people actually get to use one of the key AI features, which is first draft. So as you can tell, it's like also very slow and not really integrated in the design process yet. So I know there's some other tools like Subframe that is starting to challenge Figma. So like Subframe, similar with some other tools, claim that there shouldn't be a dev mode. It should be code. So designers should be able to switch components from design to code seamlessly. And the code is not random code. It's functional, actually production level code. So the dev mode from Figma, actually the code is oftentimes used as a reference by devs because they are not actually functional or it's not at a production level. So as you can see, it also user can drag and drop UI components from it as well. And the AI, again, is a way to amplify the design process. Potentially there can be multiple design options generated, and you can mix match to find the ones that you found most helpful and feed it back to the AI tool. Blurred lines between rows. This become a more common theme. This represents my best capability of illustration. So it's called a unicorn, and it was a term that was popularly used a few years ago. In the context of design, it means designers who can code. Surprisingly, I've seen more unicorns amplified by AI. So there are unicorn that is designers who can build, designers who can craft PRD, designers who can write copy, engineers who can design, PMs who can build, and PMs who can design. And there are more unicorns, but there's no space for me to fit in on this slide. So Cursor, Bolt, V0, tools like that can actually enable people who have basic technical knowledge or minimum technical knowledge to build something like a functional prototype or even an app. There's AI tools or platforms like Chat PRD, or some tools that are essentially like a wrapper of ChatGPT that can help product managers or aspiring product managers to deal with some basic product management task, like crafting a clean and concise PRD. Tools like Galileo AI can help people generate hi-fi designs, and arguably this is not perfect, but still, if based on the type of prompt that you provided, it can generate pretty good result. Actually, this is what I generated from Galileo AI. I was trying to create a questionnaire flow. New patterns emerged. So this part is pretty easy to understand. If you look at this is a snapshot from Wizard interface. As you can see, there are some new design patterns that are not that commonly seen before. For example, there is a try example button that is on the top right corner-ish. Try example that you can click on it and to see some templates, prompt templates generated by the tool, which is interesting because it's like an assistant that help you optimize the quality of your input. Same with the tags below, light, dark, more modern, techy. You can use the tags to further specify your prompt. This is a snapshot from ChatGPT. There's a thumb up and thumb down button, so the users can be part of the AI tool feedback loop, that help improve the answer to be more relevant and helpful. This is called a generative canvas. So generic canvas is a platform by Salesforce. Its goal is that based on the preferences, the data, it can generate personalized interface based on your needs. Arguably, this may be overkill, depends on what you need, but apparently, as you can see, there is a thread about UI shouldn't be one size fit all. It should be more tailored based on the personal preferences or behavior. New ethical concerns. First type of ethical concerns is around bias of the training data. 2017 or 2018, actually before ChatGPT was even a thing, there was a controversy at Amazon because Amazon developed this kind of like AI recruiter that can filter and select or recommend candidates. However, someone found out that the data, the training data, was actually skewed, biased biased for male candidates. And part of the reason because they were having more data of male software engineers, so they trained the data around that. So whether they're aware of that or not, intentional or unintentional, this become an issue. So they actually shut it down and revisit it at that point. And for most people, I doubt if they would ever challenge if the training data actually makes sense or not. They would just like take the AI's result for granted. There's another AI platform which was quite popular online. It's called Synthetic User. And what it does and claims is creating this kind of AI twin that based on the data or the user interview or user research information that can create an AI persona. And you don't need to physically talk with the users. You can just use that AI twin as a way to communicate. And this actually is quite controversial, particularly around, because I've been working with many great user researchers, and I know there are so many nuances in the user research that this can be easily biased. And to me, a very biased insight is actually worse than no insight at all. Intellectual property. So this was the exciting feature I was talking about. It called Make Designs, and probably you all know that was released during Config last year. A few weeks after Config, someone, Andy, posted this on X again, just saying, calling out that it looks so similar with the iOS Apple's weather app. And what happened was the CEO of Figma actually stood out and saying, we wanted to revisit this feature. So after a few months, they released a very similar feature, but really renamed it as First Draft. So what First Draft is, you just essentially feeding a prompt, it will generate a design. But for this time, the difference of this time is that they claim that they use a particular local design library with all the components. So it's definitely a smaller set of training data. And in the future, they may want to scale out to incorporate other design system. So by doing this, they claim that the training data is not like using some other company's information. All right, so I want to talk about reflections because we're talking a lot of things about the impact. I think the reflections still matter. I have a lot of reflections, so we can keep talking about this after talk ends. The first one is the AI fatigue is real. I think because I tested AI too much or searching things about AI too much. So every day, like my YouTube recommendation ads are all around AI tools. And everything about AI tools, I forgot what other things like recommendations are all around AI. So I do feel a little bit AI fatigue, especially for the past few weeks. And I believe some of you may feel this as well. Also, ironically, ChatGPT OpenAI released 4.1 a few days ago, but only within the API. I was depressed because I finally thought I got a hand of GPT 4.5, and they announced a 4.1. And not to mention Gemini 2.5 Pro that claims to be better at coding than Cloud. So things are moving so fast. So if you feel the same way, it's okay. I think I feel it as well. Learning new skills by doing. There are two key words here. One is skills, one is doing. So let's talk about skills. There are some new skills that are emerging. Like for example, how can people with basic technical knowledge can build more confidently with AI? That is one skill to think of. Another skill is instead of being driven by AI tools, can we drive AI tool? Or can we be an orchestrator of the AI tools? Another skill is how to think better with AI. So instead of use AI to dominate your thinking, how to think as a sort of like as an owner from owner stand like an owner mindset, how to think with AI and when to use what tool for what situations. And those are the important skills to think of. By doing, I know there are a lot of like theories, there are a lot of like books like dry knowledge online, but I think the best way to learn something is actually doing. It's like scratching your own itch. Humanity has never been more important, and I felt that particularly strongly over the past few weeks. That's why I posted a post a few days ago on LinkedIn. I said, 5 years ago in product design, everyone was talking about empathy, but now everyone is talking about AI. 5 years from now, or maybe less than 5 years from now, everyone may talk about empathy again. The reason of that is I just felt like there is a strong obsession to AI tools over the past few years, maybe past year to be more precise. People wanted to automate things. They wanted to drive efficiency. However, there are also things were inevitably overlooked, like people's real feelings. That's why I think Seth Godin, one of the writers that I respect, Seth Godin said that one day when AI becomes a common term like electricity, then I don't think AI tool or AI feature is become a buzzword anymore. So when it comes to that situation, what would be the competitive advantage that can make a product stand out or can make a product designer stand out? And I think that actually rooted in the humanity that I put it here. Some qualities that we human behold. For example, empathy, like we can feel what other people feel because machines can't not easily feel people's emotions yet. Another key quality is judgment. What is good, what is bad, what looks good, what looks bad. The taste, those are the qualities that inherited from hundreds of years or thousands of years of human wisdom. And I believe those are the things that are still important. Creative strategy, strategic direction, instinct, like all kinds of like gut feelings. Those are all important qualities that I believe that can help you eventually stand out after this wave of AI. Okay, so last but not least, I wanted to leave today's talk with this quote. We become what we behold, we shape our tools, and then our tools shape us. Thank you.
Xinran, can you come back? We are holding a question session.
Only not too long. Wait.
Testing. Okay, cool. We can also ask questions live if you have them. So we'll just go through some of the Slido ones first, maybe.
Thank you. It's the first question. You all can see it. Great. The easy answer here is to include AI aspect in your portfolio. Just joking. But some people judge. When they saw AI, they were like, "Oh, okay, check." It doesn't mean that you have to incorporate that, literally, but just wanted to call that out. In terms of catching up with AI and including AI aspect in your portfolio, I don't think you need to force it to include this just for the sake of including, because like from my experience, for example, so during the design thinking process, AI or let's say cloud or ChatGPT is an integrated part of my design thinking. I'm using it sort of like as a assistant, and I believe you all, let's say outside of product design, I believe you all also been using AI as assistant in that case. So in terms of including AI, like for example, in the talking with hiring managers or recruiters, I think that's just like a very natural part of your day to day, and I wouldn't be too worried about it. Regarding catching up with AI, I've shown some examples things that I built with AI. Actually, I have very basic technical knowledge, and to be honest, every exploration may take as little as like 2 minutes to as long as like 20 hours. But I think for you all, at least try to do something with AI, let's say using cloud to generate a simple prototype and have an opinion about it. If it looks good, if it has potential, or what you need to do to revise it. So I think this kind of practice helps. So I think that's how can I be competitive in current market? I think this kind of like first hands-on experience with AI helps. And to be honest, like everyone is learning, right? If someone jumps out saying, she has or they have 20 years of AI experience, yeah, like maybe it's true. Anyway, so I'll check this one. We can talk about, or if you're wanted to, I don't know how to check it. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, second one. Beyond using AI to create designs, how can designers leverage AI to become more? Actually, I love those questions, and I'm glad that we have time to talk about this. How can designers leverage AI to become more effective partners to their stakeholders? From a tactical perspective, I personally used AI to take the user research insights and then feed it to a FigJam board. So using FigJam's AI feature. So it created some templates that are based on those pain points. So we like to use a lot of like brainstorming working sessions to bounce ideas off each other. And that actually helped me be more efficient at creating workshop related materials. You can be even more creative, like asking AI, I'm going to create a workshop that trying to tackle this kind of challenge. Can you create I wanted to put things on a whiteboard. What should I put? It may give you some clues. I don't know how to facilitate the workshop. Can you give me a script, a 5-minute script? It can give you a script. So those are just like simple tactical things that can help you become more efficient, become more effective partners to their stakeholders. There are some other ways, but I don't think it's directly answer your questions. Like at my company, we are using usertesting.com. There are some baked-in AI features that can help summarize the user interviews. It can tell you like the key highlights and key lowlights. Oftentimes they're not 100% accurate, but it just make things easier for you and for stakeholders to understand what happened during the interview. All right. So I can check this question as well. Next one. What implications will AI have on the labor workforce? Do you foresee workers' right, like 8-hour work weeks and benefits being challenged? That's an interesting question. I think for now, I don't see this happening at this moment, but I can see there are some other particular jobs like copywriting, particularly affected by this because they may like, I can create a equally nice copy within 2 hours. Why you have to do it for a day, right? Like the leadership can say, I can create something which is similar, like in 1 hour. So I can see this being being a problem in the future, including the software development space as well. But for now, I think I don't have a lot of say on that. Next one, as someone trying to break into UX design in 2025, is using AI in design beneficial or detrimental? I think it's ironically speaking, I'm still a little bit old fashioned in the way that I believe being a strong product designer can help you better navigate the AI space. So back to the point that I mentioned again, there are a lot of things or qualities of a strong product designer, like empathy, your judgment, your taste, is hard to be replaced by AI, and it can actually still help you stand out. Take the design thinking process example. How would you approach a problem? If you know how to approach a problem, then chances are you know how to leverage AI to help you better approach the problem. So I would say using AI in design is beneficial or detrimental. It's probably helpful, but I own the decision at this point. Maybe one day in the future, AI make the call, but right now I make the call, and I'm using my product design knowledge. So I think for this question, I still think it's very important to grasp the foundation of human-centered design. So AI can be the amplifier, not the other way around. Next question. What can we do?
This will be the last question.
Okay, great. What can we do to avoid being replaced by AI? There is a Chinese proverb long time ago, which is, I'm trying to recall how to translate in English. If you know yourself, if you know your enemy, you can win 100 battles. So I'll leave it like that. So if you know your enemy, you can probably win the battle. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Do you have any more